genres don't even matter anymore. And I feel like producers and DJs like Kaytranada are showing us that in real time. I started listening to Kaytranada about 2 years ago, and the thing that really caught my eye was just the variety of artists that he had on his project. He had R&B artists, he had rappers, he had singers, he had Afrobeat or Afro pop artists. Like it was just such a plethora of people that it was very interesting to me because usually DJs and producers that do projects usually stay within a similar lane. Like DJ Khaled is mostly hip hop and rap. DJ Drama is mostly hip hop and rap. So to see like different sounds he was able to bring into a project and it didn't feel forced, it just made me realize how insignificant like the genre categories are. And I think this is because of the internet. People always talk about how different cities and different areas of the country had a specific sound, right? Like you had the Miami sound with like Uncle Luke, or you had like the New York, the boom bap style. You had the California like with the Lowriders and Dr. Dre and stuff like that. But I think what happened is it stopped becoming so closed off because if you grow up in that, those are really the only sounds you're really hearing. And like if you hear Vince Staples talk about it a lot, like he talks about how they didn't really listen to New York shit when he was growing up, and I could totally see how that's possible. But with the internet now, somebody in Nebraska can listen to somebody in Texas, or somebody even further, somebody in Europe or Africa can listen to somebody over here even more that they might not have had access to before. And so now it's like you might be somebody that grows up in Cali and you might listen to all New York shit. So your sound, if you're making music, doesn't sound like what you're around. Or you might listen to a variety of music like me, like I listen to everything. So if you're making music and you listen to rappers and you listen to R&B and you listen to Spanish music and you listen to all this different stuff, when you're making music, it's all gonna kind of blend together, or you're gonna kind of like pull from different places, which I think is a good thing. And so the more and more we go further into the future and more people get access to the internet and the more people are pulling from different places, the genres don't even matter anymore. I think a really big example of this is like Drake. Like when Drake's first came out, it was a thing that he was like, oh, he's doing R&B and rap. He's singing and rapping, doing both at a really high level. And now if you look at artists, a lot of rap now is a lot of melodies and a lot of singing, and that's because they were all influenced by different things. And I think that's a great thing. I think we're just going to get a lot better music out of it because once you start emulating the same sound over and over and over again, then I feel like it just becomes repetitive and it's not enjoyable. So me personally, what I'm looking forward to in the future is the fact that different areas around the world are now being exposed to a lot more music. Like the continent of Africa has so much room for growth in terms of people who need internet access and people who are going to eventually have access to these streaming platforms and all this music. And recently for me, I've been listening to a lot of Afro fusion music, Afrobeat music, music from Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa. And I feel like as different countries out there just start developing more and getting different sounds, they're going to start pulling from more hip hop. They're going to start pulling from more Spanish music. They're going to start pulling from more European music. And I just feel like it's just going to be a net positive for everybody. And we're just going to get better music. What do you guys think about this? Do you guys think that, do you see a conscious like blending of genres or blending of sounds? Or do you just see more inclusivity when it comes to music? Or do you think like certain genres are still kind of pigeonholed off?